Hey, what's happening, guys? What's going on YouTube? We got two new Amazon merch updates coming across the dashboard today. I'll kind of breeze through them real quick and then we'll discuss them a little bit. The first one is Amazon merch shirts are going to stay live for 365 days, a full year, as opposed to the 180 days that it was previously. And prior to that, it was actually 90 days. And then I actually kind of cut off on the screenshot the lower one here, but PopSocket grips can now be sold or can now be uploaded through the multi-beta uploader tool. So, before you could upload, I think pretty much every product with the exception of the front of hoodies through the bulk uploader, and now PopSockets have been added to that as well. So let's talk about this first piece of news. And this is the first time that we've had really any kind of big announcements or news come through the Amazon pipeline in a while. I think the last dashboard update we had was May 24th, which I think was Memorial Day weekend, and they let us know that uploads were going to be kind of slow. Things were going to sit and review for a while. But even prior to that, we hadn't really had any interesting updates or announcements for a while. Let's kind of read the full thing here. Previously, products were kept live for sale if they received at least one order within the first 180 days of being published. To give your designs more time to make their first sale, we have extended this time period to 365 days. This policy will be reviewed on a regular basis and will only apply to newly submitted products. Designs submitted prior to today must still receive at least one order within the first 180 days to be kept alive. So what does this mean? Anything that's already been uploaded prior to this policy change it's only going to run 180 days and then they're going to come down. Anything from today here on forward is going to stay up on Amazon merch for a full year. I'd love to hear what you guys think about this. Drop a comment down in the comment section below. Do you think like, oh, cool, this is a good thing. My designs are going to stay up longer. Maybe some things will, maybe I'll get a few more sales. Or I have a feeling most people are going to be upset about this. I think, at least from people that I talk to and being on the forums and things like that, when they bumped it from 90 to 180 days, the overall feeling that I got from people and what I kind of agree with myself is like, look, man, if your design doesn't sell in 3 months, it's probably not going to sell in 6 months. And I would say, I think 6 months or 180 days, 30, 60, 90, 120, yeah. I think 180 days is more than enough time to have a design sell. If something doesn't sell after 9 months, it's not going to sell after a year. If something doesn't sell after 6 months, it's not going to sell after a year. I think that what this is going to lead to is just Amazon merch being clogged and bogged down with that much more garbage. It's going to be that much harder for people to get sales. And, ultimately, that's kind of what Amazon wants. I mean, look at things like this. Anybody who decides to do business with Amazon, it becomes a race to the bottom, and it's all about doing business with Amazon. Somebody asked me a while back, Amazon, I think, had started offering employees money to leave their positions at Amazon and, start the package delivery service. And I have a feeling what's going to happen is what happens to a lot of like fast food franchises where you buy a franchise and they're like, okay, there's not going to be any franchises within 10 miles of you. And, then they change policies and then 6 months down the road, a year down the road, you got 6 other restaurants within a mile and a half of you. And they kind of, make those zones that nobody can compete in a lot smaller. And, a franchise or a restaurant franchise excuse me, that was at one time thriving is now like everybody's kind of getting the scraps of just the surrounding neighborhood around their restaurant. And I kind of see that Amazon does the same thing with everything, right? Like, ultimately, the more designs up on Amazon, the more stuff that sits up there, the more sales it's going to be for Amazon. But really, I think for individual sellers, the whole platform's just going to get bogged down, and it's going to get that much harder to get your quality designs seen. I know for myself, personally speaking, I put up some good designs, but I'll be the first to admit I put up a lot of fucking garbage as well. And, now these garbage shirts that I put up are going to sit up there for a full year. What does this mean for strategy and things like that? I mean, if you got 1,500 shirts live and you're allotted 6,000 shirts, well, go crazy. Upload shirts is going to take you a while to get to 6,000. But if you got 6,000 shirts allotted and you're at 5,500, you may want to be a little bit more selective about what you put up because eventually you're going to wind up maxing out your shirts, and if they don't tear you up, it's going to be a full year before, normally like with 90 days and even 180 days, eventually, by the time you catch up and fill your slots, some shirts are kind of falling off naturally. And now with it being a full year, it's kind of a pain in the butt deleting shirts. And if you kind of hit your max and they don't tear you up, you're going to wind up having to go through the process of wasting time to delete shirts to then re-upload new shirts. But again, I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on this. I personally think it's kind of a negative thing. I really don't think there's a need for shirts to sit up there for a year, but that's just me. Let me know what you think. Drop a comment. And then secondly, I think this is good news. PopSockets can now be published through the multi-tier uploader. So it's just one more product that you can throw your designs onto, and now they're going to stay up there for a full year as well. So, I've had pretty good luck with PopSockets, but it hasn't been something that I've dedicated a lot of time to just because the margins are so small. So this is pretty cool that, whatever designs we make, they're just automatically going to be thrown on a PopSocket because, at least in my experience, they have sold pretty well. So I'm going to keep this video kind of short and sweet today, but let me know what you guys think about these recent announcements, these recent updates. Drop a comment down below. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, do me a favor, click that subscribe button down below. And I'll catch you guys on the next video. Later.